everybody. So here's a quick video I want to do. So all of you know I did the Crucible, and I purchased some products while I was at the Crucible, and so I'm kind of going to do a review real quick of one of the products that I actually bought at the Crucible. So it was by a company called Impudent Mortal. Now, really nice gentleman and lady that were there. I believe the owners of the company, and I should pay attention to what is showing on the screen and not the card itself. And here's their excuse me, sorry. Here's their web address if it ever decided to focus. My camera, I think, hates me. Maybe I should buy a new one. Not the sheen. Oh, there. Oh. How close can I go? Oh, there, probably. Yep, there you go. So you can also see on here they have bridges, painting racks, buildings, movement trays with shelves, damaged buildings, steampunk building, which is the one next to the damaged building here, and etc. Now, I talked to the people for a little while I was waiting between some games, and here's some raw painted looking buildings, which they also had on display, and they had stuff that had the plastic things inside them. I forget what they're called. But here's some more of their information here: Twitter, Facebook, so on and so forth. Definitely recommend checking out their stuff. Definitely good looking, sturdy products. I've been to their website. They have videos on how to put their product together, what to use, what not to use, tips, tricks, etc., which is really nice, especially if you've never used this stuff before. But you know, I talked to the people. They seemed very nice. Obviously, I didn't ask them to give me a lower price or anything, nor did I tell them I'm going to do a review of the product that I bought. Now, what I ended up buying for $35 US, which I think was a very good price, especially since the one that was smaller than it was $25. So I'm like, $10 more. I can hang this one on the wall, and it holds more than twice the amount of paints. Not a hard sell. But they weren't trying to sell me either. You know, they're talking to me, answering my questions, and so on and so forth. So what I ended up getting from them is this paint rack right here, which I put some paints in already. Now, if you look inside, it is white. I primed it white with white primer, and then I glued it together. So this is what it normally looks like before you do anything. It's MDF board that's laser cut. Now, this comes in multiple pieces. Let's see if I can zoom back here and give you a little bit better of a look. Oh, it's not going to let me pan down unless I zoom in a little. Then it'll let me pan down as much as I'd like. So, I'll do this here. And go off a little bit more to my side. So, if you look here, the paints are actually held, so it's 3 levels deep. You have the front part here. Let me use this hand. You have the front part here, which are half circles that don't go all the way up. This allows the bottle cap to sit out here and hold it in by the lip. Now you can reverse this, so this way the paints, instead of being cap facing, and I'm doing this through the camera, so laugh all you like, they're facing this way. Now, I like to paint the caps, as you can see here, so I can quickly and easily identify the color and the shade compared to the other colors, as you can see with the yellows, some of the browns, the blues, so on and so forth. It gives me a very quick and easy way to see it. So you say 3 levels, and the reason it's 3 levels is because you have the half a circle here. Then you have a full circle here, and then behind that is the very back of the board, where you will also put the screws in to hold this in place. Now, I used wood glue, which was not recommended, but I wasn't going to go out and buy 5-minute epoxy glue to put this together. I had wood glue. This is wood. Wood glue, when it's glued together properly, will not break where it's glued. It will break somewhere else. Now, the reason they recommended not using wood glue is because it's kind of liquidy, and it can cause the wood to swell. That is correct. It could cause the wood to swell, but if you use wood glue correctly and quickly enough, it should not swell. Now, the problem was I primed this with primer, and that actually caused the wood to swell. So it made it quite hard to get this bad boy together, but I did get it together in 3 days. Had I probably not primed it, it probably would have been a lot easier, but I was thinking, well, if I prime it first, I'll be able to get the insides done correctly, primed white, and it'll look better. Looking at it retrospectively now, I probably would have put it together and then spray painted it and not give a shit if the white didn't go all the way into the back and fill in all the spaces and the sides. So you got 3 levels to the backboard right back here. Now you have a top, 2 sides, and a bottom, and it does matter when you're putting it together what goes where. Point in case is the top for the these bits here have only 2 little nipples that pop in on the top part here. Now, they do sell this, so that, like I said, that these are vice versa, and the bottles face in the other way. So if you don't do this right, these aren't going to be in the right place for you. So you need to keep that in mind when building them. Other than that, the rest of them are really quite simple and go together very easily. It's just the top part has to definitely be on the right part, and the middle part has to go in correctly so that it goes in these notches. And then, so here's the back. As you can see here, that's how the back piece kind of notches in to the sides, and the sides notch into the back piece. Here is the hole here that you put a screw or nail in and then slide it up to hold it securely up on your wall. Here's the side view of that. There's the 2 levels, and obviously the back. So, even though this is MDF board, as you can see here, I'm putting some pressure on here, squeezing it pretty good, and it holds up really nicely. I am impressed with its structural integrity. It's a little bit better than I thought it would be. It was a pain, like I said, to put together, but I think that was my own fault from priming it, and it caused, I believe, caused the MDF to swell, not the glue that I was using, because I actually had to shave in order to get the glue in and then put these into place. So there's no way glue instantly touching any of this caused swelling. So I'm going to go with primer, main cause of that. So I would recommend not priming it, putting it together, and then painting it after the fact. Myself personally, $35, definitely worth it. A little bit of time and effort to get this together. I had dry fit it, and it had all fit in nicely when I dry fitted it, which is what they do recommend. Then I primed it and figured, because my dry fit was good, that it would still be good, and it definitely wasn't. So I had to remove the glue really quick, and then shave things down and start putting it together. I did not watch the video on how to put this together correctly. I kind of just figured it out myself. Maybe I should have. I don't know. Still wouldn't have mattered, because I eventually still would have had to shave down the parts that had swelled so that they can fit in snugly. But if you can get one of these, especially if you're a US-based person, I would definitely recommend it. You could probably get this overseas. They'll probably ship it to you. I'm not sure how much the shipping will incur, if it will still make it worth your while. But if your dollar is muddier than the US, it might become very reasonable to purchase this. Especially if you're using dropper bottles, this is a great way to get your paints in there, stored in nicely. They won't come flying out, and you really don't have to make anything. This thing isn't that heavy. It's getting a little bit heavy because I'm putting paints in it, but it's actually pretty light. I can pick it up with one finger, no problem. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I do hope you get one yourself. Happy wargaming.